This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Do let me know once my screen is visible to you guys, and I will be starting in a minute. Yeah. The screen is visible to you, and on the screen there is a Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations form. So, and I am audible to you now also. Okay. So we were working on one second. Let me open the.
అది మంచిగా ఓపెన్ చేయి ఇట్లా కింద పెట్టు ఇట్లా ఇట్లాను అట్లా కాదు కింద పెట్టినాక ఇట్లా కింద పెట్టి అవన్నీ బయటకు వచ్చేలాగా చెయ్యి అట్లా ఏం లేదమ్మా కింద పెట్టు అటు ఇటు అన్న అంతే కింద పెట్టు ఇట్లా ఇట్లాను అట్లా
So we have to now prepare. Yeah. So we were working on the purchase order process. So we have discussed what is purchase process, what are the documents that gets created within the purchase process, and now we are working on the on our yesterday we prepared the vendor form also, and this is the topic which we are going to cover in the accounts payable module. Okay, so let's open the accounts payable module now, and let's get started. So yesterday we created this vendor, and there are few details, and above there are few options which I want to tell you. Okay, so we have prepared the address, we have prepared the contact information, and now if anything you need to add, update, okay, or delete also, if until the vendor has a transaction, okay, you will not be able to delete the vendor. If the vendor has doesn't have any transaction, you will be able to delete it. Just 10 seconds, sir. Okay, so now we are working with the with this vendor. So we are going to start with the miscellaneous details. So miscellaneous details, I told you the credit rating, it is just like your credit card. For over here, if the vendor you are purchasing an item more than worth 11,000 or 10,001, the system will disallow you. System will give you a validation that okay, the credit limit is not available, and this credit limit is applicable to customers also. Okay, I will show you there. In case you want to go ahead with the intercompany section, means intercompany means yesterday I gave one interview where the intercompany was asked. So the question was, what are the setups for the intercompany customer and vendor? Okay, so have a note of it. I hope you are making a note of it, and this will be helpful for you when you are giving the interview. Okay, so if you click on the active button over here, intercompany. Okay, so I need to do the setups also. Once I make the intercompany active, the company name, the customer account, because here it is a vendor, in which company it should be customer, there you have to mention all these details. Once these details are available, then you can go ahead and create a purchase order. Automatically a sales order will be prepared in the another entity. Okay, so this is the process. Now vendor profile, if it is a bid only profile, or it is a one time supplier, local only owned, okay, so women owner, minority owned, these are the few booleans which are provided to you, and in case they are important, because if there is any functionality that needs to be enabled, I don't know, means I have never seen these things for a vendor other than the India one, where we have a SEZ vendor. For the SEZ vendor, SEZ means special economic zone vendor. Okay, so micro Indian government has given the has started the Noida and other IT parks, okay, where they have told other organizations to come, and the taxation for next 10 years will be zero for them. Okay, so that's why we have the SEZ one. So SEZ you will be able to find out in the Indian entity if the code is Indian. Okay, and then you can go to the registration IDs over here, and on the registration IDs under the registration general tab here you will find out one field which is applicable only for Indian entity. Okay, not in the US region. Okay, so like that this boolean works, but I have never used these booleans ever. Okay, now coming to the purchase demographics, we have a currency code. This is the default currency in which the vendor is going to be traded. In case you want to change the currency, that is also possible. Okay, now primary contact, if there is any contact for this particular vendor, this is for informational purpose, that if you want to connect with this particular vendor, okay, normally what happens, we see vendor only from a shopping perspective or only from a customer perspective. Okay, because we always buy from one vendor. Okay, we go to shop as a retail customer, we purchase it. But when it comes to business, they will have a separate Dell International LLC. You can't just directly call. Okay, so in that case you will have a primary contact that you can save it over here. I hope this is clear. Then line of business, this is a line of business, means for the informational purpose this will be used, this will be utilized. Okay, then there is the employee responsibility and subsequent change, means all these fields are there. Why I am telling you these fields, what is the importance of it? So the importance of it is one minute, huh? Hmm. So the importance of these fields are, when you go for the client interaction, when you go for business, these fields will help you out in a case that how this line of business, or they will ask you that is this field available, or this field is important for us. So in that case you should know that okay, these fields are available in our D365. Invoice delivery, any number sequence, any specific number sequence you want to prepare for it, means number sequence for Italy, number sequence for EU. Italy domestic vendor will have a different number sequence, and Italy EU vendors will have a different number sequence. Okay, so I don't want to go ahead with that part right now. Number sequence means this number we have decided manually by us. Okay, but in some countries this is required, mandatory, that this should be the format. Okay, like in Italy, and if you go to other countries, there is a specific requirement for it. Okay, the Philippines one. Then there is a supplier price tolerance group or vendor exception group. I will come on it later. This is specifically for any tolerance is required. Okay, so let me check. Uh, Again, these fields I have never used. Okay, means I have never seen other than the address or other than the taxation. If these are utilized, maybe somewhere in some cases you guys will come to that particular project where these fields are usable. So just have a look on it, and then you can work on it. Okay, but it is not used, okay, in a recent in more than cases. Okay, but it is given, so that's why you need to know that okay, these things are there. Okay, then the delivery, any UPS zone is there, or what is the delivery term? Delivery term is important. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to the view details and I will add the delivery term. So delivery terms means how this vendor is going to deliver the item. Okay, so what I will do, I will click on the new button, and I will add the delivery terms like ship, and tax area will be user defined, and the transportation, add transportation charges to the orders, add transportation charges to retail sales order, or is it a cash on delivery? Okay, so I hope now you are getting the point. Okay, so ship, and one I will create as delivery terms as by air. So by air means by flight. Okay, and see, and one more I will prepare for road, and click on the new button, click on the road. So this is road, and one I will prepare by road. Okay, So say I'm not choosing cash on delivery over here, but the reason is cash on delivery type of like cash on delivery, credit card, or all those things that we will prepare in different field. Okay, so let's say for example, whenever this customer is going to deliver, it will be by road. Okay, then there is a tax group, price group, mode of delivery is there. Okay, so mode of delivery, delivery terms, I think delivery mode of delivery should be road and ship, and delivery terms should be cash on delivery or credit card or like that, it should be there. Okay, so just let do one thing. uh, I will just filter over here, reset the filter, all the values will come, delete it, yes, delete it. These fields normally you will be giving to your customer, okay, and they will give the details to you. Now click on the new button. Delivery terms is CC credit card, and one more I will add, the COD, cash on delivery, cash on delivery, and over here we will mark the boolean also. This is not editable. Need to check why these booleans are not editable. Okay, we will check. I will check and we'll come back. So mode of delivery, delivery terms. Let's see the delivery terms. Credit card. Okay. Now mode of delivery. Mode of delivery will be ship and ship, air or road. So let me add that thing also for the vendor. And here we go with a new button. Mode of delivery will be via ship, via ship. Uh, on the mode of delivery, is there any charge group, okay, or that you can enable? And if you go to the charges, charges means like delivery charges are there, right? Platform fee is there. It is a type of charge. Okay, so we will come on it when we will when we will be adding the purchase order. So in that case, we will be adding this also. Okay, so charges will be extra fee. Okay, let's go with the fee. Fee is a group. Okay, so fee I will type, save it, go back, and charges group fee. Then there is the expedite. If there is any expedite means the field, I don't know the field name, never used on it. So product address foreign. Okay, so mode of delivery I have used till here only. Okay, process delivery mode, transport calendar. What will be the transport calendar, or process the delivery mode? What is the process for the process delivery mode? Ship batch job is added to the batch queue. So wherever the delivery mode, wherever the purchase order is added, so there the ship will be updated. Okay, in that case, so ship, and then there is a destination code. If there is any destination code specific to this vendor, that you can add over here. Okay, now taxation. Taxation means on the vendor form, whenever a tax needs to be added, okay, by default, so in that case you can utilize this field, है ना? And price, whenever the price will come against this particular vendor, the price will be including tax or excluding tax. For example, in India, when you go to buy anything, है ना, so prices are inclusive of tax. Okay, the MRP, the maximum retail price, is inclusive of tax. So wherever the software is there, we have to update in the system that okay, the prices are including the tax. Okay, so in that case, system will automatically calculate the tax basis on this particular boolean. Okay, we have not added the tax group, we have not studied the tax part right now, so we will come back on it later. Then there is a withholding tax. Withholding tax is a type of tax where you stop some payment, okay, against the taxation, so that you say ki, yeah, we need to pay. And normally withholding tax is calculated, withholding tax is provided to those vendors which are outside the country. Okay, the for the foreign vendors, the calculated tax is there. Okay, calculate withholding tax. What happens in that case, if let's say for example the item is around 1000 USD, and the Indian GST says that okay, it is 18% GST. So 1000 out of 18% is 180, so it will be 1180. Okay, and now over it there is a 5% of withholding tax. So what will happen when you are going to pay to this particular vendor, you will restore 5% of the total amount, and that you will submit to the government, Indian government. So this is the concept of withholding tax, and it is applicable all over the world. Why it is applicable? Because once you pay to the vendor, you never know the vendor will pay to the government or not. Okay, so in that case, you only store the we store some taxation against in within the country, and then you can restore. Okay, so this is the part of the withholding tax. Then there is a purchase order defaults. Purchase order default means whenever you are going to uh, create a purchase order against this vendor. Okay, so what will happen, you will have some default fields. Okay, so charges group, so let me check the charges group, and over here we will go for the charges group. I will add the charges group over here. Just a minute. Go to the view details and go to the new button. We prepared fee, I believe. Fee, let me type the fee, go back. Against the charges group, you can update some charges against it. Okay, so we will come on the calculation also. So charges group is there. Now there is a site and warehouse, that also we need to understand what is site and warehouse. Here only I will give you a brief on it, and then you will be able to understand. Okay, so system has a few dimensions. So one of those for inventory dimension we can say, है ना? So now here I will type site and warehouse. Site and warehouse. What is site and warehouse? If anybody asks you, see, whenever you work on the ERP system, okay, they any of the ERP system, okay, and you are working with the item, you are working with the inventory. So the inventory, let's say for example, inventory needs some information. Okay, so what is the information? So maximum, let's say for example, this is a retail shop. Okay, this is a retail shop. What happens in this shop? In this shop, you can, this is the entry, and this is the exit. Okay, exit, this is the entry, and here is the billing counter. Billing counter. You need to go, you need to check out against it, and then you need to go to the billing counter, then you come out of it. Okay, but sometimes what happens, you want to find a specific type of bread which is not there. Okay, and what happens, the billing guy checks in the system that where is this particular inventory, is this inventory available or is this inventory not available. So what is the first question you have to, if you are asking for a particular bread, okay, what is the first question you will ask? The first question is this type of bread available or not? Okay, if it is available, though the first part is availability. Okay, how much is the quantity? Okay, how much is the quantity available to you? Then second question, where it is, है ना? So where it is stored, so storage. Then you will go ahead to check the storage of that particular item, means location. What is the location of that particular? Once you go to that particular location, you will check for the expiry date. Okay, if it is expired or it is it usable or not usable. Second thing, you will be identifying that okay, it is in good the quality of the product is good or not. Okay, the quality. So these are the few key points you will mention. Okay, you will check while purchasing the item. Similarly, so to answer all these questions, D365 Finance and Operations has few dimensions. Okay, whenever you prepare an item, it will be coming to the dimensions. So these dimensions are site and warehouse first. Other dimensions are also there, but as we have encountered these two fields, I'm telling you right now these only. Okay, so what is a site and warehouse? Site is actually, let's say for example, this is the four triangles of India. Okay, Jammu and Kashmir, and then there is a Gujarat, then there is in the south we have Kanyakumari, and then we have the Kolkata is the reason, and other reasons are also there like Assam, Sikkim, Manipur. Okay, so the site means on the broader level. Okay, on a broader level, how many sites are there, and within one site, how many warehouses are there? Means site and warehouse are interconnected with each other. Site can be New Delhi. Within New Delhi, there can be four warehouses. Within Delhi, there can be four warehouses. Warehouse 1 is in Lakshmi Nagar, warehouse 2 is in Badarpur, warehouse 3 is in another location. Okay, Noida location, warehouse 4 is in another location. So similarly, one site can have a number of warehouses. So let's prepare it in the system. How to prepare it in the system? For the site, I can directly go to the view details, or I can utilize the feature of warehouse over here. Under the warehouse management, I can go to the where I am setup, and under setup site and warehouses. So let's prepare one site over here. So we will prepare it from here only. We will go to the right click and go to the view details. You can go to that from that form also, no problem in it. Okay. Those who are not able to understand still, please do let me know. I will try to explain it. Let me first create a site. So site is S1 and site 1. Site 1 is, let's say site 1 is New Delhi. Okay. And or site 1 is, let's say for example, not, we are in US entity now, so the site can't be New Delhi. So site 1 will be let's say site 1 will be USA. Okay, and within USA there will be four warehouses that I'm going to prepare. Okay, now I will go back. I will use the site 1. Now I will go for the warehouses. Okay, so view details. So within one site you can have a number of warehouses, as I told you. So for the warehouse, I will go for the warehouse, which warehouse? Let's say for example, W1, and W1 equals to New Jersey. Okay, New Jersey or New York. New York will be better. New York. And here you see this is red mark, and you need to connect your warehouse to the site. So within one site there can be n number of warehouses, and if you go to the hierarchy now, it will be there that okay, within one site, site 1, this is warehouse 1. Okay, now I will click on new button again. I will go ahead with the W2 and W2 warehouse. See the see this hierarchy, okay? And W2 New York is equals to uh, one is in New York, one is in Texas. Okay, and the site again is site 1. One more I will create over here. One more, save it. Let's save it. And you can see that within one site there are two warehouses. Okay, one more warehouse I will prepare. This warehouse is W3, and this W3 is actually your uh, New York, Dallas. Okay, chalo. And the site will be again site 1. So within one site, then there can be a number of warehouses. I told you. Okay, means site can be India, and warehouse can be available in different locations. Like you can have your location in New Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore. Okay, Gujarat, Sikkim, Manipal. So all over all over wherever the warehouses are there, that you will be able to prepare. Okay. Other fields I'm not adding right now because I don't want to work on those fields as of now. Okay, so let's go back to the system and update the warehouse. So whenever this particular Dell International LLC is prepared, few fields will come automatically. So that's why it is the name is warehouse um, purchase order defaults. Okay, the tab name is purchase order defaults. Okay, so I have added this one. Default inventory status ID, no, not required. Vendor item group, if there is item vendor group that you want to update. Purchase pool, okay, so all these fields, our account number, let's say for example, our account number is V001. This will automatically come up just for informational purpose. Okay, nothing else. And then there is a workflow which we are going to trigger now, which we are going to study now. Okay, so all these fields are there, and using these fields I will right now say saving it, and other fields I'm not updating right now. Discount wise, yes, there is a multi-line discount, there is a line discount, there is a total discount group. Okay, so we will come on it, how to provide the discount. Okay, against the payment, I will type the terms of payment over here. So terms of payment, and over here before the terms of payment, let's go to the workflow because it requires approval. Okay, and we have not enabled the workflow till yet. Okay, so what we will do, we will go for the workflow, and then again we will come to the prepare the vendor. And there are few fields, because these fields are important. This I am covering for the customer also. When I will create a customer, these fields will again be shown to you. Okay, and there we will save our time. Okay, so now come to the workflow. What is a workflow? Let me click on the new slide over here, and let's go for the workflow. This is important, yeah, you know, workflow. Why workflow is important? Because whenever you want to create any master data, and you want to prepare, you want to work with the you want to work with with that you want to send that data for approval. Okay, so approval can only be sent when once you have some margin, once you have some manager. Okay, so let's say for example, in an organization there will be three levels. One will be the user of the system, one will be the manager. Okay, manager. And over there, over the manager, there will be stakeholders who are responsible for the whole business. Stakeholders, this is the stakeholders. Okay, so now if a user is preparing a vendor, that vendor should be, before doing anything, before doing any approval, or before doing any create, using this vendor for any purchase order process, for any purchase or for any financial transaction, there should be workflow enabled. So we have two types of workflow. One workflow I have shown you at the in the general ledger level, where I was just reporting as ready, and after that my manager can come and approve it. That is based on the user group. Now we are working with a separate second type of workflow, which is based on the conditional workflow, which is an advanced level of workflow provided within the D365 Finance and Operations. Okay, so let's go for that. To enable that workflow, what you need to do is, against every module, all the modules, there is a under the setup, the second option will be the accounts payable workflows. And in general ledger, if I go to the general ledger, to go to the setup, general ledger parameters, uh, workflow. This is the general ledger workflow. Okay, if I go to the account receivable, account is a parameter, account receivable, workflows. Okay, so everywhere the second option is normally the workflows. Okay, so let's go to the workflow. A separate menu will be enabled for you. You can click on the new button, and once you click on the new button, the standard workflow will come up. Okay, so vendor invoice, journal workflow, vendor promissionary. So these are the standard workflow. If any workflow you require and is not there, you have to ask your technical team to update the workflows. Okay, so let me go over here. Vendor settlement, promissionary note, note journal, vendor disbursement. I want a vendor bank, vendor invoice line. Okay, so this is actually not the one which we want a vendor approval workflow. Okay, so as I told you, there is a secondary option for purchase also, the procurement and sourcing. Maybe here we will get, okay, setup and then procurement and sourcing workflows. A few of the workflows are automatically designed by the system, and we want the vendor approval workflow, purchase vendor add application workflow, vendor rebate workflow, vendor category request workflow, purchase order workflow. It is not there. Vendor add application. What? Let's see for the accounts payable parameters. Yesterday we have seen that, okay, these fields are enabled for the workflow. Yes, enable vendor approvals, create data entity behavior, allow changes without approval, create change proposals. Okay, so after that we need to go, after these fields are there, we need to go to the accounts payable workflows. Let's go to the new button. We have vendor invoice, vendor settle, vendor invoice workflow, vendor disbursement, withdraw, proposed vendor changes workflow. This we require, na? Approve the proposed vendor change. This is the workflow we want to enable. Okay, so you can click on this particular option. Once you click on this option, it will be asking you, do you want to open? Yes, I want to open. So a separate window is enabled, okay, where you can, which is based on the conditions and everything. Let's wait for some time. Hmm. Now, what was the password? Just a minute. I don't know the password right now. Hmm. Let's sign in. A separate window will open. Let's wait for some time. It should open now. What happened? Not opening. Let's try one more time. Vendor, where it was, vendor, approve, proposed vendor changes. Click on the open button. Let me try with this one. Forbidden. Yes. So I think with the second, with another email ID, it has now opened. So this is the screen. Okay, you have your start, you have your end. Okay, this is the workflow approval. Okay, so you need to drag and drop this approvals from here. Okay, and what is there inside it? You need to connect the start. The workflow will start from here and it will come over here. One second. Let me add. You have to connect this line over here. So this is now connected. We will take this here. We will add it over here. Okay. So now we have connected. So now what is there inside it? Start and end, but in between there is a condition. So if you go over here, there is a workflow proposed changes and you have to click on this one and then right click and then go to the properties. Work item subject. What should be the subject work item? Okay, firstly, it is asking for the assignment type. So you need to assign this workflow to whom it will be assigned. So let's say, for example, it will be assigned to the workflow user. Okay, and the workflow user will be the workflow originator, and whoever is the originator, it will go to him. Okay, or you can have your participant also. Okay, then role based participant, you have to assign the role based, but it will be a little bit difficult for you. So I will come on the workflow user. Okay, and what I will do, you will be doing it in this way only. Okay, the whoever the user is there, that username will come over here. Okay, and once the workflow goes to the workflow is initiated from the system, it will go to this particular user for the approval or non-approval. Okay, then what you can do, you can click on the basics, and then you can assign the workflow subject item vendor, workflow vendor approval. This is the name of the workflow, vendor approval workflow for Coke. Okay, for Coke, C001 USA. Okay, what is the workflow instructions? How, please verify the vendor changes and approve. Okay, so this you have given. Okay, now you can close the button. You must define the submission instruction for the in order to help. So this is the one, submission instructions. Please submit after complete information. Okay, and then you can close it. Now your workflow is enabled. Okay, simply you need to click on the save and close button. Okay, so once you click on the save and close button, it will ask you for the versions. Please don't enter any version. System will automatically assign a version for you, and just simply click on the activate the new version and click on the OK button. System will now close this particular form, and workflow will be assigned to you over here on this particular form. Okay, so it is activating from the backend, and let's wait for some time. It is getting closed. Just wait. Why it is not getting closed so fast? Let's wait for some more time. It is actually, I believe it will take first time, it will take some time. Okay, the accounts payable workflows. I just want to show you in this way, in this pattern, the same pattern you can follow in different or different modes. Okay, I've shown you all the workflows. Okay, somewhere this workflow is very important in case of the inbuilt. I have shown you in the purchase line, right? So there the workflow is automatically enabled. It is mandatory to follow that workflow. Just wait for some more time, and this workflow will be enabled. Okay, so now whenever any changes is done at the vendor level. Okay, so let's go. Meanwhile, it is getting updated. We will go for the all vendors now, and we will see the vendors. Okay, so we have this vendor. So we were working on this particular tab, purchase order default. So workflow, yeah, we were working on the terms of payment. Let me add the add this terms of payment. So we have not prepared any terms of payment. Terms of payment. What is a terms of payment? Terms of payment means in a B2B, business to business scenario, what happens? You have to prepare you have to give them the vendor gives you a credibility that okay, if you purchase from us, you can pay within 7 days or within 30 days or within 15 days. So I will prepare uh, three terms of payment. Okay, so 7D, uh, pay after 7 days. But is it okay? The 7D and name, is it okay? No. So there should be some formula for it. Okay. So you have a method of payment. Okay. You can go for the cash on delivery, current month, okay, or next, or cutoff day. So you can go for the net, and then you can click on the 15 days. So over here now come, okay, if there is any payment schedule, payment day, I will come on it later, okay, and click on the save button. If it is a default terms of payment, you can mark it as it is, then click on the new button. I will go for the 7D. Then I am saying that, okay, if you are purchasing from this Dell vendor, this will be 15D. Okay, so 15D means pay after 15 days, pay after 15 days, and over net 15 over here, net 15. Now one more I will prepare, the CM, okay, 30D. So 30D, pay after 30 days. Now payment method will be current month, and you want to go for the 1 month. Okay, so now click on the save button. Okay, so these are the three terms of payment we have prepared. We will go back now, and we will add the terms of payment over here, and you see that screen is now disabled, so that means our workflow is enabled over here. So if I click on the 15D, I'm changing the terms of payment, and for changing any terms of payment, we want a approval process. So now it is asking that, okay, vendor group is getting changed from domestic to overseas, and terms of payment was blank earlier, and now it is asking for the 15D. Okay, let us close it. A workflow is now enabled over here. Whenever the workflow is enabled, so you will get like this, and then you can click on the submit button over here, and it is asking for proposed vendor changes workflow. Submit, you can give your comment, and then you can click on the submit button. Okay, if you want to add any comment, then you can add it over here. Now workflow is submitted, and what you can do, you can see the workflow from here, from the view history section, if there is any errors for it. Okay, so let's wait for some time, and a workflow history screen will be enabled, where it will be showing the tracking detail list. Okay, so submitted by him, by this one, and if the comments which were there, that will come over here. Now you can refresh the form, and once you refresh the form, it will go, if there is any error in the workflow, it will come over here only. Else what will happen, at the front end, you will, instead of this option, the workflow, you will get the option like submit and all those things. Okay, submit, delegate, or delete, or reject. Okay, so that will come over here, and once it is approved, system will allow the values to be changed to the terms of payment to the 15D. Okay, other than this, there is a payment specification, there is a bank account, if the specific bank account is there. So, okay, so now what I will do, I will go for the bank accounts from here. For the vendor, there should be a bank account, right? When you are going to pay to the vendor, okay, the payment should be done into the directly into the bank account. So let's say, for example, the vendor has given us a bank, this is the bank account. Okay, so the bank account he has given, let's, for example, it is ICICI. Okay, and the name of the bank is ICICI Bank USA, and then there is a bank group, there is a bank account number. Here also requires approval. If you want to add this approval, 25252313, it will ask that, okay, when the bank account approval is not active until a new record is created. Okay, then you can go ahead with the bank account number, and you can click on the save button. So let's go back. This is the vendor, and I was telling you about the bank account, right? So once you prepare the vendor bank account, the bank account number, the bank account will come over here. Let me refresh the form once, and it will come. Why it is not coming? Bank accounts, bank account is there. So bank account should come over here. Maybe it is because of the workflow. Okay, the workflow which we have enabled, it is asking that the please complete the workflow, and then you will be able to do it. Okay, so let's go for the view history. I wish there should be some error in the workflow. Yes, it is saying that stop. The text associated with the work item cannot be found in the Chinese language or in the default language of the system. The workflow has stopped processing because of this error. Contact your system administrator. Okay, so we will resolve this error. This is some language error, no problem in it, so we will come on it later. And in this way, but you can prepare your workflow. If the workflow is completed, you will get a submit option, and then your terms of payment will be enabled. Okay, then there is a method of payment. What is the method of payment? How you are going to give it to them? How you are going to give to the give this payment. Okay, so we will come on it. From here only you can go to the view details, or from the front screen, what is the pathway of this particular vendor. You can go to the accounts payable module, you can go to the payments, and this is the method of payment. The same screen will be enabled to shown to you. Okay, so let me click on the new button. Method of payment is actually important because of this field, payment status, payment type. 1 minute. Yes, so we can have these method of payments. Okay, a promissory note, which is which is a promissory note, means is like a bank. Bank can provide you a promissory note for against a particular purchase. Okay, this promissory note is utilized in gold purchase, or the heavy value purchase where the bank is required. Okay, and other than this, you can have check and electronic method of payment. So one I will prepare for the method of payment as cash, and in this cash you need not to enter anything, just simply the cash and to give the description. And then we will prepare for the check also, because check also I have to tell you. So check I will prepare over here. So check method of payment, we will pay to our vendor via check. The payment type will be over here. You have to go ahead and 1 second. अरे यार, CHEQ check. Okay, so we will save it. Other than this, if there is any check, okay, so that you can work against it. If there is anything related to the file format, you want to export the file, okay, in that case you can have your file formats enabled, but that we will see once once we will be doing the payment to this particular vendor. Okay, so then you can, by default, you can mention the cash method of payment right now, that okay, this vendor will accept only the cash. Then there is a payment specification, payment schedule, how your payment will be given to the vendor. Okay, bank, we will need to enable the workflow. Workflow should be completed, then this workflow will be shown over here. Okay, so we will add the workflow. I will check what actually is the error in the workflow and will come back on it. Tax 1099 is specific for the US region. So if you want the report 1099, you want to W9 received or not, check for W9. If you and FATCA filling requirements, federal tax ID is required, tax ID type, employer identification, social security number. So these things you can add 1099 box. What type means this is specifically for the US region. Okay, then there is a retail, if this vendor is in retail. Okay, and the barcode, the replenishment code, the type. So this is all about your vendor forms. Okay, other than this, if you want any field to be added, then you can simply click on anywhere over here. You can parse form information, or 1 minute. See, it is saying that the status is change pending approval. Okay, so we need to complete the changes, then only we will be able to utilize this particular vendor for further treatment. Okay, so let's go for the personalize over here. And on the personalize, if you see, there is a add a field option is there. Okay, so if you click on the add a field, okay, so if there is any field which you are not still not able to view, you can simply click on the add a field over here, and a field and the list of fields will be enabled for you. So these are the list of fields which is not available in the front end. Okay, and from here you can update those fields over here. Okay, I hope things are clear to you at the vendor level. I will go for the now to uh, purchase order. But for purchase order, what we require is we require a item. है ना? So for that item, we will now go for the product information management module. Under the product information management module, we will go for the firstly we will see the setup. So this is the setup for product information management module. Under the product information management module, you will be able to find out. Okay, so federal tax ID has not been specified. There is one error against a vendor that the federal tax ID for the vendor is not defined. Okay, this is a warning, I believe. Yes. Okay, so we have to update it. Product information management parameters is small. You can see that, okay, the number sequence is filled or not. The number sequence is filled. It is there any shared number sequence? Product attributes is there. So maximum the product information management. In the product information management, we will be working on the, again, see the setup, and then I believe against a product there is no workflows. Just a minute, let me check and confirm you back. Advanced nodes, categories for a product. I don't think there is any workflow designed. Okay, so in that case, what you can do, you can go for the products, and you will see that there is a all product master, product variants. Okay, but what uh, until and unless the product is not released, so we will be working on the firstly we will see the all products option. Product, I believe you are now getting the point where we are working on for a purchase order. This is your purchase order. What is a purchase order? PO, purchase order. Purchase order has few details: with whom, with which vendor you are purchasing, and what is the item you are purchasing. Okay, so against a vendor there can be item number 1 you are purchasing, item number 2 you are purchasing, item number 3 you are purchasing. Okay, so 3 items. So then there will be some prices. Okay, there will be some quantity. So you are purchasing 5 quantity of item 1, 10 quantity of item 2, and 2 quantity of item 3. What is the rate? So rate is, let's say for example, this is 2.5 $2, this is $6, this is somewhere around $1. Okay, $1.25. So this is the rate. Then there will be some total. Okay, total will 5 into 2 10, then 6 into 10 is 60, and then 2 into 4.5 is somewhere around 2.5. And then you will have a total, you will get a total that 10 60 70 72.5. Against it 72.5 there will be some taxation. So let's say for example 5% of tax is there. So again that amount of 5%, 72.5 into 5%, that you have to pay to the vendor. That will come somewhere around 75 US dollar approximately, that you have to pay. So this is your whole purchase order. We have prepared the vendor. Now we need to prepare the item. I hope this is clear to you where I am working on. Okay, so let's meet tomorrow with the with Vasisht. Okay, and then we will continue with the item part. This is your whole vendor. I hope you have your environment ready and you are working on it as well. Because as we proceed further, all these documents will come into place. Okay, the purchase agreement. Right now we are working with the where are we? We are actually working right now to complete to initialize this, to have this purchase order to be completed. Whatever is required in the purchase order, that should be completed. Then once this purchase order is completed, we will again go ahead with the means how we can reach to this purchase order. Okay, so tomorrow when we will meet, we will start with the item section. I will try to restart the system today only, so that in the class it will not be a problem. Okay, let's meet at 7:30. That's the exact time tomorrow. And thanks everyone for joining the call, and let's meet tomorrow with the item section. Okay, so thanks everyone. Bye bye.